I'm just gonna cut this short and sweet. I'm gonna tell you why you should avoid rail transport like the plague. After I finished my third month in phase 3, uh, they fired me. I'm gonna tell you, it's not why they fired me, but how they fired me. This is my issue. And what they did to me was the dirtiest thing I've ever had happen to me from any company I've ever worked for in my life, and I'm 49 years old now. I trusted these people. I gave them 3 months of my life. I worked my ass off for rail. I left a 20-year career of building kitchen cabinets, countertops, to go into truck driving, and this is what I got. About mid-October, I was midway through phase 3, where you're out on your own. You have your own truck, but you're still under supervision with your temporary fleet manager. My fleet manager name was Jason Francis, and I'm telling you his name right now because the guy flat out lied to me, misled me. But I don't want anybody to harass him or dox him or anything like that. But I'm telling you his name because if you ever get him, watch out. He's a damn liar. After my first 2 weeks out, went home, had a few days off, and then he contacts me, says, when you want to go back out, I'm ready to go back out. And communicated to him that I want to be home before election day. I wanted to be home November 4th. He said, okay. Normally with rail, you're out. Well, the way I was, you're out 11 days out, 3 days at home. And this was drive-in national. But I set it up to where I would be out 18 days straight just so I could vote. I wanted to be home by November 4th so I could vote. He knew this well ahead of time. So I was out roughly 16 days, and it was coming up on November 2nd, and it was my father's birthday. And I had to take a 34-hour restart anyway. So I told Jason, I'd like to go ahead and go home if I can. I was only 3 hours away from home at the time in Ohio. And I was like, look, dude, I got to take a 34 anyway. Can I go ahead and go home? Why not? I'm going to be sitting here for 2 days doing nothing and then going home on my scheduled day. After that, can I go ahead and go home? And he said, well, no, we got to get you up to Gary to get that truck worked on. And I should have known right there that something was up because there was nothing wrong with my truck. It didn't need any maintenance. But I didn't pay any attention to it. And I ended up taking the 34 somewhere near Cleveland. And I live in the southern part of Ohio, down near just 2 hours south of Columbus. But I took my 34-hour restart. Then they gave me a load going to Indianapolis. I had to go pick up a load. I can't remember where exactly, but it was going to Indianapolis. And they were dead set on getting me to Gary. And I couldn't figure out why. It didn't make any sense. But okay. I took the load to Indianapolis, and then I picked up another load, which was going to be a relay, which means I pick it up, and I take it to the yard in Gary, and I leave it there for another driver to pick it up. And that's what I did. November 4th, at the stroke of midnight, I dropped my relay in the yard at Gary, and I parked for the night to go to bed. Next day, I actually got an email from Roehl saying, hey, congratulations, you finished phase 3. You're a full-time member of the team now. It felt pretty good. And I even called at 6:30. I woke up and I called dispatch and I said, hey guys, I was supposed to get a load to go home. You know, it was time to go home. I've been out 18 days. And called dispatch, said, hey, can I get do you guys have got me a load to pick up to go back home? And I want to get home so I can vote. And oh no, we don't have anything yet. Planners don't come in until 7 a.m. Central Time. Okay, fine. Then I was like, I'll call back later. Then I get a message from my fleet manager, Francis. He tells me, you need to go inside. They schedule a Zoom meeting for you. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting congratulated because I finished phase 3. I'm doing good. I did 25 loads for these guys. I delivered every load I got. No problem. And much to my surprise, I go in for the meeting. You know, I'm totally unaware. I sit down and talking to a lady from, I don't know where. I think she's somewhere in Wisconsin. I don't know. But she informs me that they're going to go ahead and let me go. They're going to go ahead and fire me because on October 24th, I was a half an hour late on a load going to Louisville. And at the time, I can't even remember which load she's talking about. And I was 10 minutes late for a load going to downtown Chicago. And that one I remembered. I was like, man, that load, I was literally 10 miles out, and it took me over an hour to get through the traffic in Chicago to deliver that load. And I was 10 minutes late, but they don't care. I was a half an hour late going to a load to Louisville. I was like, really, a half an hour? You have no leeway? None. Really? Okay, no. Nope, no leeway. And you can literally, she said, you didn't trip plan good enough. You had an 11.5 hour break that night. I'm like, ma'am, every other night I'm up the crack of dawn, literally starting exactly when my 10-hour expires. I literally work 70 hours a week for less than minimum wage. I'm getting 45 cents a mile. They don't care. They don't care. They wanted me gone. Because this is what Roehl does. They bring in a whole bunch of recruits. They get government-funded money to pay for these programs. And then they fire you for any chance they can think of. And then they'll send you a bill for $7,000. Whether they fire you or you quit, you're going to get a bill for $7,000 on top of what the government already gave them. And they're bringing in the next round of recruits to fill those empty trucks. They want to fire you. They want to find any excuse that can to fire you because they're making money off this shit. So anyway, after they inform me they're firing me, after my fleet manager lied to me to get me to go to Gary just so they could get their truck back, and while I'm in the meeting, I noticed when I came back, somebody had snuck in my truck and put a lock on the airlines one of those little black round locks on the airlines, just so I couldn't steal their truck. They think I'm going to take off and do Grand Theft Auto on a $300,000 truck over a job that pays less than minimum wage. No, I would have never done that. But, you know, that's how much they trust their employees. They snuck in my truck when I wasn't there and stuck a lock on the airlines. Then I get another call from the same lady who was so nice to fire me for no reason. Really, no reason at all. And she informed me that I needed to be out of that truck immediately. And, ma'am, all my things are in this truck. I have my refrigerator, my coffee pot, my air fryer. I have my linens, my clothes, my game systems, a television. You know, I've been living in this truck for 3 weeks. On and off, been living in that truck for almost 2 months. And everything, I have a lot of things in there that are mine that I can't just throw out in the parking lot and get rid of. Well, you can put them in storage and you can come back and get them later. Fine. And then I ask him, how am I going to get home? I'm 8 hours from my house. How am I going to get home? I obviously can't drive your truck home. Her answer was, well, we'll get you a bus ticket and we'll take it out of your paycheck. Oh, really? You'll get me a 12-hour Greyhound bus ticket and take it out of my check. Gee, thanks very much. What about my things? Well, you can come back and get them later. Oh, you want me to pay to take a 12-hour Greyhound back to Ohio, and then you want me to make a 18-hour round trip back here and back home to get my shit? No, not gonna happen. So anyway, I asked her about the GYCDL program, and of course she says, well, you're gonna have to pay us $7,000 because that was the agreement. So, ma'am, I didn't quit. You fired me. How can I pay you if you fire me? They don't care. They want their money. Rick Roehl is a poor multimillionaire, and he needs his money. He's only got 2,000 semi-trucks, folks, and he's only got 5 or 6 giant hubs around the country. He needs his money. You know, he needs your money. So, it happened to be the next, Roehl always pays on a Thursday, and it happened to be the next day was a Wednesday that I got my pay stub early in my email. And they were happy to inform me that they were taking $500 out of my paycheck. And I've got the proof here. I could show you. I'm not even going to bother right now. Doesn't matter. But my paycheck gross was over $1,200. Roehl took $500 out of it after taxes. I got a whopping $300 for driving 2,500 miles. And come to find out, it would cost me $500 to rent a car to get home. So I had to call my sister and borrow $500 so I could get my Visa paid down enough, because you gotta have a real credit card to rent a car. You can't use a debit card. So I had to pay down my Visa $500. Because it would cost $200 to rent the car plus a $300 deposit. So I had to pay $200 plus a $300 deposit to rent a car an SUV that was big enough to put all my things in and drive back to Ohio. That's what Roehl did to me. They left me stranded in Gary, Indiana after they tricked me to get up there just so they could get their stupid truck back, which I would have given it to them anyway, because I'm not a damn thief. I busted my ass for these people 3 months, and this is how they treat you. They'll trick you, get you routed up there, get their truck back, they'll throw you out in the damn street, and they'll stab you in the back, and they'll treat you like utter garbage. I have never been treated worse by any company in my life. Never. They treated me like utter dog shit. And all I did was work hard for these people. That's all I ever did. So I'm going to tell you all something. If you go for Roehl Transport, you're going to get some good training. You will. You will get some good training. But don't trust them for a second, because they will throw you to the wolves the first chance they get. And they won't think twice about it. And they don't give a shit. They took over $730 from my final 2 paychecks. They left me stranded in Gary, Indiana. I had to borrow money from family to get home. And now I'm stuck with less than 2 months experience driving. I'm trying to find work, and I'm getting collection calls already from Roehl wanting their other $6,300. And they want payments of $1,500 a month. And I am not shitting you. This company is dirty, low-life scumbags, and they don't give a shit about you. Now, I'm talking about the company. I am not talking about the trainers, and I'm not talking about the drivers. They're good people. I'm talking about the company. Don't trust them. Don't work for them. They're low-lifes. So right now, I'm in the midst of Christmas season with property taxes due in January. I'm trying to find work. I got bills due. Roehl took $700 out of my last 2 paychecks. I'm trying to pay my bills, put food on the table, pay my property taxes so I don't lose my house. And I got Roehl beating down my door wanting $6,000. So, that's what you get for being loyal to Roehl Transport. So, this is all true. And like I said, I am not mad that they fired me. I am mad at how they did it. And I think other people should know about it. Anyway, take care. And like I said, find another company. Don't work for these people. Later.